Hey everyone, Jeff Sarr from The Practical Drummer here. I want to show you something pretty funky and cool to get your Sunday drum party started. And just came up with this. It's paradiddles in triplets. Okay, so using triplets, we want to play paradiddles, which gives us some really cool fill ideas. Okay, so I'm going to give you a few of them. And so when you use triplets in 4/4, using 16th notes, we're going to use triplets instead, but when you use 16th notes, the accent falls right on the beat. So remember, a paradiddle is right, left, right, right, left, right, left, left. Okay, so right, so if I were to put each quarter note up onto a drum, I would get right, so it's right, left, right, right, left, right, left, left. Okay, so it's a different sticking than hand to hand. Right, left, right, right, left, left, paradiddle. So that's fun to play with 16th notes. So if you're playing just a, something like that. It's fun to play paradiddles. It breaks it up from hand to hand 16th notes. But what I want to do is play triplets. Same sticking, right, left, right, right, left, right, left, left. But now we're using triplets, which are now threes to each quarter note, right? So it's going to accent the 3/4 polyrhythm, okay? Which is 3 evenly spaced beats over four quarter notes. We're going to fit 3 evenly spaced beats, 3/4, okay? So just by accenting, again, the first note of the paradiddle, you're going to get the natural 3/4. So I'm going to break it down slowly though, okay? So I'll put the accents up here, each of the beginning of the paradiddles. So it's, if I'm counting triplets, 1 ta ta, 2 ta ta, 3 ta ta, 4 ta ta, and now it shifts to the 1. So you could do that measure, but realize that you're going to have to crash a 1 with the left hand, okay? 1 ta ta, 2, 1 ta ta, 2 ta ta, 3 ta ta, 4 ta ta, 1. Okay, so to the beat, to the quarter note. Here's the trick. 2, 3, 4. So you really got to make sure that you try to keep the snare notes down in volume. And again, up to speed, maybe 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. Okay, so I'm going to just go in between one measure of 16th notes and using paradiddles, and then I'll go into so actually let me back up. I usually do 2 measures of this, okay, because as I come out with the left hand, if I do 2 measures of this, it sounds kind of cool. So why don't I just do 2 measures slowly? 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. So I'm using triplets, paradiddle sticking in 4/4 for 2 measures. So you're going to get 2 of 3/4. So it's really 6 notes over 8 beats, okay? And it sounds kind of cool if you actually use the same drums for the accents. 2, 3, 4. Okay, so it's really odd, all right? So you can also bring them up to cymbals, which is a little bit more of a challenge because now you're bringing the bass drum in, and you've got to really count. More time. Okay, so second time, I did not hit the bass drum on the last beat. Kind of got out of sync there. So again, I just came up with this concept and practicing it on real time. I literally practiced it for like 3 minutes before I hit play. Because this is the beauty of drumming, is you have an idea and then you got to work it out, right? And that's what practice is. That's why I like to show the real deal. In practice, you're going to mess up. So I knew that I did, okay? And so the third time through, I pretty much nailed it pretty well. And that's a little bit slow, so it's, you know, it's harder to do these things slow, and that's the whole point. If you can't do it slow, you're not going to be able to do it fast, all right? So break it down. So you can go in between. So check this out. I want to do 2 measures of regular 4/4 16th note paradiddles, followed by 2 measures of this triplet accented 3/4. Okay. I'll first do it on the toms, then I'll bring it up onto the cymbals. Then I'll show you one more thing to make it even more interesting. So it would be kind of a cool solo idea too. So if you're just playing 2 measures each. Okay, so I ended up bringing some other drums here. As long as you don't lose the sticking and the triplet feel, you can go anywhere with the hands, okay, and that's really cool. So, you know, if you're, and it's also cool too, if you're playing, you know, just a groove. Something like that, okay? So I did 2 measures of 16th notes and 2 measures of triplets, okay? So you can mix and match, and then I could have also done up to the cymbal, right? I just did toms there. So that's really a challenge to 1 ta-ta, 2 ta-ta, 3 ta-ta, 4 ta-ta, 1 to the quarter note. That it's very strange, as opposed to easily on the beat. Every quarter note I'm hitting with a bass drum, so it's right with the quarter note on the left foot. But when you're using triplets, it accents the 1, the first triplet of 2, and the last triplet of 3, and nothing on 4, right? So I'm going to show you one more variation. This is pretty cool because if you actually skip a beat, you can accent the 3/8. Okay, so this will give you 3 measures spaced over 3 beats evenly spaced over 8 quarter notes now instead of 3/4. Whereas, you know, I did every accent. I'm going to switch, and I'm just going to hit every time I come to a single right. As the beginning of a paradiddle, I'm going to go up to the cymbal. So essentially, it's going to accent the 1, the last triplet of 3, and the first triplet of 2 of the next measure. So 1 ta-ta, 2 ta-ta, 3 ta-ta, 4 ta-ta, 1 ta-ta, 2 ta-ta, 3 ta-ta, 4 ta-ta, 1. That's 3/8. It's very interesting, but you got to really keep your place. So I'll just put it on a tom. Okay, just the tom, and I'll put everything else on the snare. 1, 2, ready, play. 2, 3, 4. Okay, so that's it, which sounds kind of cool if you're playing up to speed. Just mess that up. Okay? So what I want to do now, though, is instead of the tom, I want to bring it up to the cymbal. All right? 3, 4. So there, the last variation, I just brought, instead of the right hand to the snare, I just brought it to the high tom, which kind of gives it a different texture. So the three cymbals ring out 3 evenly spaced beats over 8 quarter notes, okay? So try these variations out. I'd love to hear a comment. Share this video if you have a drummer friend or a musician friend, guitar player, bassist. They can really sink into these polyrhythmic ideas, because if you're hitting these accents with your bass player and it's 3 over 8 in a solo or in a section of a song, it's very odd, but it's very cool. Okay, it'll separate you out from other drummers. But again, the hallmark of what I'm playing here is what I always stand for, or sit for, is left foot on the quarter note as much as you can as you're working these ideas out. You don't want to lose the quarter note, because then you might lose your place, okay? Until you get to the level of like Kalyuta and Buekel and those guys who can play all this stuff independent, because it's so internally locked in, they don't get lost. You and I aren't there yet. So the left foot keeps us honest, okay? Try it with a click track, and sky's the limit. So test that out. Report back to me how it works, okay? Take care. See you next time.